So let's talk about some Note Expo. Why'd you start it? You're in your 10th year. Why are you still doing it? And, who's it for? Why should they come? And tell me about Note Expo. What's coming up, man?
Yeah,
You're all excited
Note
about it.
Expo, it's just over 60 days away. It's November 3rd and 4th in Dallas. And we like to say it is the note industry conference of the year because we cover the spectrum from folks that have been in the business 30 or 40 years like myself, to people that have been in it 10 to 20 like you, and people that have been in it a year or so and are just getting started. So you get a whole mix. There's conferences out there that focus on maybe just the new folks or focus just on institutional folks. We try to blend it all together. So you were correct. This will be our 10th annual, 9th live. We did have a virtual one in 2020. And we have about 400 to 500 people every year. And like I said, it covers the whole spectrum of experience. And really, the reason we started it, Rob, I mean, it's, how can you create an environment where everybody can get together and not only learn stuff with good content and speakers, but, just build a community where you can network with people who may end up being a counterparty that you can do deals with. Maybe they'll end up being a capital partner, or maybe they're a service provider and you just need to figure out, hey, I need to find somebody that can help me do BPOs, or I need to have my own self-directed IRA account, or I need a loan servicer, all under one roof. We're the Barnum and Bailey of the note business.
Yes, innovative, cutting edge. So what's really going to be the theme of this year? I know you go year by year. You're kind of, looking at a specific type of theme or topic or what's going on in the industry. What's really going to be your focus this year looking at this?
In today's market, are you ready to pivot when you need to be? So it's going to be all about being ready to change, being ready to, and when I say change, it's like you may have to change some of your financial modeling or some of your strategies as far as, we had talked in the past, a year or two ago, real estate was on fire and multifamily was the hot, sexy thing. And we were going to do this deal and refi out at 3% and pay all our investors back. And now they're refiing out at 9%, and that model ain't working. So do you either go out of business or you pivot and do something else? Like maybe I need to buy some cash flowing asset. Maybe I need to buy some distressed debt. Maybe I need to sell some of the assets that I have a lower cost basis in, so I have more capital, take advantage of what opportunities are in the market today. So the whole thing about, pivoting, it could be pivoting from, one work corporate job to an entrepreneurial type, note portfolio. So I think that's the overall theme. Like I said, we'll hit on different aspects, whether it's changing asset class, changing marketing strategies, or just changing lifestyle. But, yeah, we have a good lineup of folks, including yourself, that'll be there to dazzle us with all your words of wisdom. And if anybody out there is not sure if they want to come or not, I've got Rob teed up to do a Note Talk, which is a TED Talk up to 12 minutes. And the odds of over and under right now are heavily in favor of going over. So if you want to see if he's able to, what he can say in 12 minutes before the mic is cut off, it's worth the price of admission right there.
I'm in on that one. I'm on the old. So let's talk about that for a second. It's as we said before, it's time to change, time to pivot. All markets are dynamic. I mean, if we're not being dynamic, then we're not growing, we're not learning. You can't be myopic. You got to have different strategies, and you got to be, and that's how you survive in this business or in any business. That's why you've been around for so long, why I've been around doing this for a while too. I mean, and we've talked about this before. When I started out, 10, 15 years ago, how many of those people are still around? Not many of those people are still around from when we first started. We started doing business back then. Not around it, because they bounce from one thing to the next. And part of that is because they are somewhat like a one-trick pony.
Well, I think it's twofold. I think we have a segment that is a one-trick pony, And then we have a segment that are chasing squirrels, and they're changing just for the sake of change. Like they can't stay focused on what's working for them, and they're way beyond pivoting. They're just chasing the shiny object syndrome, we call it, right?
Yeah.
So did you hear about this? I'm doing that now. Oh, what about crypto? Oh, what about this? What about and they're just bouncing everywhere. So half the people from back in the day when you first started aren't in business anymore, and the other half are on their fourth iteration of what they're doing because they changed things so many times. So we try to get past the shiny object thing. Look, there's a core strategy to the note business. You got to stick to it. And there's different verticals in that. Like I said, distressed debt, cash flowing debt, reperforming debt, REO properties. There's all different ways to structuring deals, and you don't have to go chase, whatever you just saw on late night TV.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's funny because I like to be as informed and as data driven as much as possible. And as I was actually doing some numbers this week and just updating some numbers, let me give you some numbers and why people need to come to Note Expo, whether they've been there before, coming back, looking to get into this business, and because of how big this opportunity is that's coming down the pike. Everybody remembers 2008, 2006, 2008, and let me just go over some numbers. Okay. In 2006 was the point there. The defaults and the delinquency rates were just starting to go up, and it peaked at first quarter of 2010. Delinquency rates in that 4 years went up 760% in 4 years, meaning this. In 2006, there was about, let me just get my numbers here real quick. Let me just pull this up. I'll tell you what it was. In 2006, I don't know where I put my data. Here we go. In 2006, it was about $168 billion of defaulted mortgage paper that we tap into. 4 years later, it grew to $1.4 trillion of defaulted mortgage paper. That was then. Since then, since the peak of outstanding mortgage debt back in 2008 at the peak, which at that point was $11.2 trillion of outstanding debt, right. About 10% of that went into delinquency. Since then, today, we're at $19 trillion worth of outstanding mortgage debt. That's a 35% increase in the overall size of the market. And think about where we are today with economic conditions, with inflation, with all this geopolitical unrest, with unemployment numbers that just got revised down again, people losing their jobs. It's going to put more stress, which means that this opportunity is going to be even bigger now. If the market's increased by 35% and it was a 10% shoot up, you're talking over $2 trillion worth of this paper and this market that people can participate in. That's how big this is. That's how much people in this industry needed to clean up this mess. Because what are we going to do? Leave it to the central banks again to pick up a lot of this? They picked up $1 trillion worth of this. And what did? They printed more money to go and buy these mortgages, and we all ended up paying for it in the form of inflation. Right? They try to offset that by lowering rates. Oh, you're not going to feel all this extra money we're putting in the system because we'll just lower rates and everybody can refi and get out of it. And now we're starting to feel the back end of that. Now it's starting to come through, which means more people are going to be in trouble, more banks are going to be in trouble, the more that the people in this industry are needed to help clean up this mess and push us back into recovery. It's going to be an ugly time, a fearful time, but not if you know what's going on and how to work through it and see through this mess to get to the other side. I think more and more people need to come in this industry, learn, get to Note Expo, get the education, partner up with the right people, participate, and just it's a big mess that's coming. It's a big mess.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think you're spot on as far as trying to stay informed. I mean, that's why we have podcasts like this one. It's just to try to share knowledge and keep people on what we see is going on, and that's a key part of Note Expo is providing content that there's no selling this or pitching that or whatever. It's just industry experts, sharing either their forecast and projections on what they see or their strategies on this is what we're going to be doing in the short term that we feel like an opportunity is coming. And there's some motivational and inspiring things, like we're going to learn, how you got to where you got to, and then how, I'm in a similar situation. I can bounce out of that and do this. So, it's 2 good days of networking, learning, and staying informed. But I would just say don't stop at, Note Expo. You got to stay plugged in because it's always changing and you have to be ready. I mean, we could say be ready to pivot every year. I mean, because, this year it just seems like you said about inflation and geopolitical. It's just more obvious that, like you said, things are coming.
So here's the other numbers that I looked at as well. When I look at where wealth is in this country. Oh, I'm sorry. I went the other way around, actually. I got to wealth, but I looked at who carries by age group, who carries the most amount of debt in this country. And it was the age group between 25 and 55 that holds all the debt in this country now. Who holds the least amount of debt are 55 to 85. And interestingly enough, that group from 55 to 85 holds most of the wealth in the country, which means this is what I deduce from this. So if 55 to 85 has most of the wealth in their pockets right now, and there's going to be this tremendous transfer of generational wealth from one generation to the next, and the next generation carries all this debt, guess who's getting all that money? The banks. Because the people are going to be taking this money, paying off debts, and it all gets back into the hands of the banks anyway. Another reason why, people need to get involved, because there are ways to actually, by getting in this business, you can actually take haircuts and buy this debt at discounts. It doesn't have to go into the hands of the bank. It doesn't have to. You can actually get a piece of the pie here too.
Great point.
See, I told you they'd come in and be okay.
Hey guys.
Oh, the kids are going to be running. Come say hi to Bob. We had breakfast with Bob in where were we? Oh, in Nashville.
Hey, Zarina.
Come say hi to Bob.
Joe.
It's all right. We cut this up and do our podcast. So.
Hey.
Actually, we'll put this one in.
How's it going?
Hi.
Hey.
Good.
Hey.
Hi.
Good to see you guys.
Friday. All right, go have fun.
All right, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. So you look at all that. See you later, buddy. Let me finish jabbing away, okay? So you look at that, who's got all the debt and who's got all the wealth, and just compare those two. It's not hard to put that conclusion together.
No, exactly.
The bank's going to get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked on past about leverage, right? Well, the 25 to 55 is highly leveraged. They owe a lot of people.
Yeah.
And as that wealth makes its way downstream, what options are they going to have if they're so leveraged with debt? What are they going to do? They're going to have to they're not going to be able to take advantage of getting that wealth and growing it because they are so leveraged right now.
I had a conversation with somebody new that I met last week, I guess it was, and was very well in the insurance business. And we just had an introduction. What do you do? And all this stuff. And, I kind of explained to him what it is that I do in the real estate side and stuff. I found it very, very interesting.
Well, I'm glad somebody knows what you do.
I don't know that he completely knew what I did, but, we started talking about where we were economically, and he told me like how he was scared because he doesn't know where things are going and what's going to be happening. And where is all this going to go? What are we going to do? And, it looks really scary moving forward for him, his family. And here's a very sophisticated guy, done very well for himself, but doesn't matter how sophisticated, how well you've done for yourself. People still don't see what's coming and how it's going. But we don't look at this stuff through the eyes of debt and debt cycles and what's coming and stuff like that. Most people don't know how this stuff works. Um, yeah, even those people that don't even want to be involved in the business, they should probably still come too, just to understand what's going on. They can probably get some insight and some vision and some foresight into what's happening and where we're going with all this.
Absolutely. So give us a little sneak preview. You don't have 12 minutes to tell us, but what is your topic and what are you going to cover? Give us a little 30-second.
I have no idea what I'm going to say. I usually just go up on stage and get a couple of drinks before me. Whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. Come on, you've seen me do that before.
I've seen it. It was really impressive when you did the opening keynote in the morning, and you had already had a few drinks and everything. So
that's right. But the way you do that is you get started on the night before. You never go to bed. You just let it continue through the night. I mean, you are in Nashville. I mean, you could stay up all night over there.
Yeah.
What was that? I was the first. I was the second one. Nathan went on first, right?
I mean, yeah, welcome everybody.
Oh no, we didn't. No, we did Axe Throwing the night before. That's what we did.
So
we did Axe Throwing the night before. You're not going to do anything like that at yours? That was actually a good experience, a good bonding experience.
For those of you that are there the night before, Rob will be buying drinks in the bar for everybody. So all you have to do is, hey, I saw your podcast. You're going to buy me a drink, and if you come up there, put it on Rob's tab, and let's see how big we can get that tab.
Well, if you use the code Rob Rocks,
there you go.
you'll get a free drink from me. So you're not doing anything the night before then? We'll probably bring. We're still making plans because I'm gonna probably bring that down.
We usually have a little charity dinner and auction that we raise money for the night before. So cool. So we do that. So it'll be good. No, you guys need to come visit us. It'll be an awesome time, and it'll be cool.
We're planning on bringing us weekend.
It'll be nice. So other than that,
we should do a charity 4-wheeling event. I'll take my Jeep down there. We should go off-roading and do a charity off-roading event. There's places to go off-roading down there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of off-roading. Yeah, we could sell. How many people fit in your Jeep?
I could fit 4 people in my Jeep.
Counting you, or in addition to you?
No, including me. So me and 3 passengers.
So we can raffle off the other 3 seats, and they can, who wants?
No, but you got to go with somebody else. So you got to have somebody other equipment just in case you get stuck. So you got to have at least 2 Jeeps. So
you're going to get stuck?
Depends on where you go. I mean, come on, we can't go over just pebbles. I mean, I want to go over the most, the challenging stuff.
All right. Awesome.
Have you ever seen any of my 4-wheeling stuff? I should send it to you.
No, I haven't.
I'll send you some stuff. I'll send you some videos.
All right.
Actually, I probably have one here. I was going to say something else and I forgot. So my talk, I'm not sure what I want my talk to be on, but part of my talk, what I'm going to put in there is how most money gets made by rear view looking traditional financial advisors.
Okay.
Only visionaries look through the windshield and are forward thinking. And in this business, you got to be driving a Jeep with no windshields and no rear view mirrors and just have the whole world right at your fingertips.
It seems like you'll use one of those off-roading videos in your talk.
So I may drive on stage in my Jeep if that's all right.
Work. If you can get up the steps for the stage, that'll be awesome.
Dude, I can do that with my eyes closed with my tires, man. So maybe I'll do a little bit of a video introduction, 4-wheeling and stuff about how they have to be open-minded and how they have to.
I like that.
That's not
off-roading with Rob.
Off-roading and notes, crushing it.
There you go.
And let me see if I find a video.
You'll have to run that by your marketing team and see if they approve of it.
Dave will approve of it. Dave would definitely approve of it. Right there, producer Dave?
Oh, yeah.
I know he would.
He's rolling his eyes right now going, okay, yeah, I'm going to see Rob.
He wants to come. He wants to come. He's into that. I love how he hides behind
He's sending you a
dark
chat
screen.
telling you to quit scrolling on your phone on camera.
Oh, because I'm looking for the video here. Here it is. Let's do. Well, here's a picture. There's not a video, is it? No, it's here. Here it is. I'll give you this one.
Those rocks.
Yeah, no, we'll do just. That's where do we? Oh, this is in North Carolina
Get
last year in
out.
September. I'm serious. You're gonna see Joe as I drive by. You'll see Joe doing like. Oh, I gotta go here this way. You can see Joe doing like he's all championed. We get over. I almost got Tippy right into this rock right here. Almost go over there on three wheels right there. Come right through it. I was up in the air. Came right back down and made it right through. You see Joe.
Yeah. And the purpose of this?
It's just challenging. You go off road and you go challenge. You find your biggest rocks and climb it up, and it's all a challenge, man. Just like in life, you hit adversity, hit a challenge. As long as you got the right equipment, you can get through anything. You should probably relate that to my talk and what I've come through in order to still be here.
I like it.
In my life. So I'll bring one of those videos. I'll put one of those videos together.
That'll take a minute. That only gives you 11 minutes to talk.
Wow, that's fine. It'll be quick. But yeah, I'll do something like that. I'll bring that in there, show the video, talk through it, and actually I could probably relate some points to it. But all right.
Well, make sure when we post this, we put the NoteExpo.com link up there so everybody who's listening can click on there and sign up to come see us November 3rd and 4th in Dallas. And Rob Rocks is the promo code for the free drink on Thursday night. So,
and if you mention that video you just saw, I'll buy you two.
All right, so I've got two already lined up then. So I'll be ready.